So depending on the time you arrive, usually if it's before midnight, you won't see anyone around. So what you do to get down to where you need to be is through here, and you walk on the mat, and on the mat you will fall down. And there is a chance of crippled limbs and everything, and currently my doctor skill is really low and I don't have a doctor's bag. So what I thought I would do is rest until midnight. Okay, so if it's midnight or after, you should see people around and they will basically take you down there and you don't have to worry about any injury or anything. So, surrender or die? I surrender. Please let me apologize for the unpleasant circumstances under which we meet. Normally, the protectors would have tried to scare you off. Usually rattling chains and some low moaning is enough to scare anybody off. But recently, they have been instructed to bring any surfacers they find to me. What do you want with me? A simple request. We need to make contact with the town to the southwest. I believe it's called Modoc. Would you do us this favor? If you answer, what do I get out of this? You usually tick him off and then he doesn't trust you. So it's just better to go, I have many questions to ask before I can possibly take this mission. Fair enough. I wouldn't expect anyone to blindly accept tasks from strangers without first learning a little bit about them. Ask your questions and I will answer them the best I can. Why don't you send one of your own people to deliver the message? Since the sealing, we, as a people, have changed. Few can bear to be on the surface because they are not used to having a black sea of nothingness above them. The sensation of falling upward is so great for them that they lie frozen, clutching the ground. But that is not the main reason. All of us cannot stand the bright light of that which you call the sun. Living underground for so long has made our eyes too sensitive to light. We cannot travel far from the safety of our homes beneath the ground. Can I ask you some more questions? Ask your questions. Tell me about your people. Once, long ago, we were once like the surfacers. We too dwelled above the ground until the world above caught fire. Our ancestors, who were part of a secret militia, sealed themselves and their families down here for protection. For generations down here, we have remained, safely hidden within the womb of Mother Earth. Can I ask you some more questions? Ask your questions. I'd avoid asking him about his defenses right away. Why did you come back to the surface? Our population steadily increased since the sealing. It soon became apparent that we could no longer survive down here without further supplies. So the seal was broken, and we once again looked to the surface for survival. More questions. Why the big ghost charade on the surface? Years ago, someone tried to take over our farm, harvesting crops and stealing animals they had no right to. We are not a violent people by nature, but something had to be done. Our survival at the time depended on those crops. That's when we came up with the ghost idea. Smearing ourselves with the glowing fungus, we were able to scare away this person and any other nosy neighbors. Unfortunately, this has been a little too effective. Lately, we've been seeking to make contact with the surfacers, but no one comes to the farm anymore for fear of the ghosts. Luckily, you dropped by. Questions? What is the purpose of your message? With the completion of the new irrigation systems, our food supply far exceeds our needs. We wish to establish trade with the surfacers and exchange surplus foods for much-needed medicines. More questions. So if I was to ask about the defenses, what are your defenses? Enough. No more questions. Make your decision now. Yes, I will gladly carry your message to Modoc. I knew you would understand. Here is a message relaying our request. Please take it to Modoc and give it to the person in charge. Return here when your task is complete. I will tell the protectors to expect your return. We thank you for doing us this service. You're back! What did you find out about the farm? I have a message for you from the leader of the Slags. Slags? Who are they? What's this? Joe opens and reads the message. This is incredible. They've been living underground all this time. They say they'd be willing to trade food for medical supplies and other stuff. I don't know if they can be trusted. After all, they killed Karl and all those other people. What do you think? All those bodies are fake, nothing but dummies covered in Brahmin innards. They just wanted to keep you from stealing their crops. Fake? But I saw the bodies with my own eyes. In any case, Karl is still missing. How do they explain that? I won't trust them until I'm certain they're on the up and up. You can find Karl at Mom's in the den on the east side. One very drunk person. He has a sign that says, "We'll work for food." Karl is located in Mom's diner on the east side of the den. Spare some change for an out-of-work farmer? What's your story? He sobers up quickly and begins to tell his tale. I used to be an upstanding citizen before coming here. I was a peaceful farmer that worked the fields as hard as any man, until they started showing up at night, all glowing with pasty white skins. Spooked the hell out of me, it did. Night after night they showed up and stole crops and cattle alike. I could do nothing to stop them. I know what you're gonna say. Why didn't you ask for help? I tell ya, I did. Nobody would believe me. They thought I was crazy. Finally, it just became too much for me. I couldn't take it anymore. I just up and left and came here. And here I've been ever since. Karl starts to weep uncontrollably. You decide to leave him with his misery. Poor Karl. I found Karl at the den. He left because no one would believe him about the ghosts and he was scared. The den? I guess we were a little hard on him. I can imagine what he went through at the ghost farm, with nobody believing him and all. You say he's a drunkard now at the den? If you could give him the message that we believe him and that he should come home, I would be most appreciative. In the meantime, I believe it's about time the Slags and the residents of Modoc get acquainted. I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain. How about telling me where I might find the Holy Gek? Acting a little embarrassed. Well, you see, I don't really know anything about this Holy Gek thing you're looking for. You have to understand, we were desperate. However, I do know of a place called Gecko. It's a ways east of here somewhere. If I were a betting man, I would wager your Gek Gizmo is located there. I wish I had more I could give you, but we're still a poor community with not much in the way of offerings. The best I can do is offer you goods at basically my cost, but I'd be honored to help keep you stocked for your journeys when I have the goods, and I'm sure any of the other residents would be equally grateful if you asked them. Thank you. You saved us all. Bye! Okay, so let's look here. I've gone up a level. Vic has gained some abilities. You gain 3,500 experience points. So that was a mission well worth doing. So, now the leader of the Skags asked me to return. Okay, you might as well go back in this entrance. It's less dangerous. Let's meet up with Vegeir. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he asked us to return once we delivered the message. How good of you to return. I take it you have delivered the message to Modoc then. How was it received? The message was received well. The town of Modoc would like to establish trade with your people. Thank you for helping us. You will always be welcome here. For your services, I offer you this as a reward. Vegeir hands you an assault rifle. Ah! Wow. Assault rifle, an AK-112 5mm assault rifle, an old military model, out of use around the time of the war. Can fire single shot or burst, using the high velocity 5mm rounds. Minimum strength required 5. Holds 24 shots of 5mm JHP. And it weighs 8 pounds.